Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. I am Kellee White. I'm a spiritual medium and a psychotherapist, and welcome to Ask Me Anything for January 25th, 2024. How's everybody doing? Let me say hi. Hi, PJ. Hi, PJ Miller. Hi, Betty Lucas. Hi, Betty. Hi, Murphalita. I have so many questions, you guys. Thank you so many for writing in all these great questions, and I so appreciate all of you reading all my posts and writing to me. I love hearing from everybody. Hi, Denise. Hi, Trey. Hi, Joy. Love following me on Instagram. Thank you. Yes, I did recommend a book for you, Souls on Earth by Linda Backman. Great if you are living with a starseed or feel like you are one. Linda Backman, Dr. Linda Backman, Backman. She is a wonderful writer with this. Hi, MKD, first time live listening. Well, thanks, honey. I'm so glad you are. Hi, Dee Dee, blessings. Oh my gosh, just started a new job. Congratulations. Persistence does pay off. And it is freezing where you are, because I believe you're from Chicago. And I have to say, everybody, we've had between snow, and then after snow, there was ice. Yep, that was a big deal from a girl from Los Angeles. And then there was something today that happened, and it was fog. So it's like snow, ice, fog, snow, ice, fog. So today was quite a day driving to I have an office that I use when we have the workers at our house, because we're doing a big remodel on our home. And so I was like driving through the fog this morning, and I saw something that I wanted to discuss, which was really quite extraordinary, because I'm going to talk about this full moon tonight. It's called the Wolf Moon. And on the way in this morning, as I was driving in, I was about maybe a couple of miles from my house, and I live out in the middle of the country in southern Wisconsin. And of course, there's snow on the ground, and it was very foggy out. And all of a sudden, there was like a clear patch. Like, fog is a funny thing. All of a sudden, it clears up, and then it probably like life. It clears up, and then it gets foggy again. And all of a sudden, I looked up. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I actually saw a wolf. I saw a lone wolf, actually, out on the. I couldn't get a picture of it because I with the fog and the driving, I could just hear Don in my head, my husband, saying, "No, don't stop. Don't even look. Keep going. Drive carefully." So don't worry, honey. I was driving very carefully, but I was amazed to see this. I know it was a wolf, and I literally got a really good look at it, and it was amazing because, I mean, talk about a totem. Wolves are an amazing totem, and it's an amazing full moon that we have tonight. And so I do want to discuss this full moon, because a lot of people are going to be feeling the energy of this full moon. And it's actually one of the best full moons, although it will bring out boatloads of emotions. And particularly if you're a mother, or you're dealing with a mother, or you're dealing with children, this full moon will bring it out, like whatever it is, because this full moon in Vedic astrology, remember I'm doing Vedic astrology, is in Cancer. Now, in Western astrology, they say that it's in Leo, but I go by Vedic astrology, where the true planets are. And so it's in Cancer. And this full moon full moons in general, or moons in general, are all about consciousness and unconsciousness. And when a moon is full, it actually brings things to light. And so this particular full moon is strong because it's in Cancer, and Cancer is the only sign ruled by the moon. So this Cancer full moon highlights issues, like safety and self-care and comfort and nurturing, and it brings out huge emotions. And so if you are feeling like very emotional today, it would probably be because of this full moon in Cancer. My moon is also in Cancer, and I felt a particularly, well, I guess, I don't know if emotional was the right word. I felt like a deepness. I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, maybe it was a deep emotion that I was feeling today, just on life in general. So it is also in a nakshatra. In Vedic astrology, we have nakshatras, which are celestial houses that go along with each sign. And this celestial house is called Pusha. It's a nakshatra that it's supposed to be like the most wonderful of all the nakshatras because it means nourishment. So if you are in need right now of self-care, honor that. If you are in need of a deep release of sobbing, maybe you've recently lost your mother, or recently, maybe some people have recently found their mother recently, things, but this would have something to do with a mother, could have something to do with children. And it could be simply taking care of yourself, nourishing yourself. And wolves are associated with the moon. And so wolf medicine is so interesting because it's all about generosity. It's about nourishment as well. And so this theme actually matches this Cancer and the full moon. So set your intentions. This is an excellent time to put your crystals out. And, I will tell you that there are times I would say don't do it. But today, it's a really good time. And you put your crystals out for clearing them and cleaning them. It's also a wonderful time to meditate. It's a wonderful time to take a full moon bath or a bath, maybe using moon water even. So this is actually an interesting time. And this was so funny because I received this in one of the posts I wrote. I think it was on the Full Moon Post. And this is from Christy Dixon Pride. And she said, no way about this full moon that's called the wolf moon. She said this morning, her son said that moon makes me howl like a wolf. And she said she started laughing in the car because he's never said that. He's autistic and he's very sensitive to energy. So seeing this post I made her smile. So Christy, just know you've got a very special son there, because I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. He'll be quite a blessing here. And also on top of that, oh yes, and if you like this and you want to help grow the community, hit like and share. I'm supposed to say that. And the other thing that I want to say that we have going right now, which is very, very important, is that Uranus, the planet of shock and surprise and new age technology and astrology, actually, it rules a lot of things. It is stationing to go direct tomorrow on January 27th. And in Vedic astrology, it's in Aries. And when a planet stations, it stays like this, and it gets very intense a few days before, a few days after, and certainly on the day of. Now, Uranus also rules airplanes. And you notice on the news, they're always talking right now about, different airlines that are having huge trouble with their planes. So that has a lot to do with this. And we'll see what comes out of this. Be fascinating, actually. And pretty much every time, I can't say every time, but often, more than not, when Uranus particularly stations, some major event happens because it's unexpected. Uranus is unexpected, shock, change, all kinds of things. So this could bring, it's more, it could be in our personal lives, but because this is an outer planet, it mostly affects the world on some level here. So it could be major events in technology, space advancements. It could bring earthquakes and earth changes, because it also has to do with earthquakes. Uranus has a lot to do with that. It also has to do with floods and storms, of course, and political. There's a lot of things, a lot of upheaval that could happen during this stationing period, which is really starting to station now, actually. Today, tomorrow, and the next day will be really very much stationed. So, and then we'll look forward to April 20th when Uranus and Jupiter, the largest planet, conjunct. They come together, and it brings all kinds of changes in the world. And a lot of it is for the positive, because it's all about healing and new ways to heal and new technologies that will help. So a lot of amazing things are happening. So, and then, as I said, when Uranus goes direct, which is, well, it starts tomorrow, but then it kind of, it takes that time to station. But then after that, it goes direct. It stays direct. And then what happens, and this was very exciting, on January 27th, tomorrow, when Uranus goes direct, all the planets in our solar system are direct. And so what does that mean? That means it is a very exciting time because it's, like if you've been held back for anything, boy, watch what happens now. Kaboom. The energy starts to go really, really fast, and it makes things happen. So it's a really exciting time when all planets are direct. The next time, and it goes until April 1st. Isn't that funny? April Fool's Day. Because that's when Mercury will go retrograde. And then we start the whole thing up at this planet and that planet. They all take their turns in going retrograde. But right now, until April 1st, this is a time that is a great time to start something. It's a great time to express yourself. It's a great time, for taking classes and learning and going, and you'll feel this energy. Okay, so it's a very powerful time because Uranus has been direct since, I think, August 29th of 2023. So it has held back things, particularly people maybe with new jobs and things. But now, as we go forward, it should go pretty fast. I would think so. I would think it does. So, okay. And I want to answer this. PJ Miller, my birthday is February 2nd. So February 2nd, if you were born on February 2nd, that makes you a 10 of spades. 10 of spades are born to work hard. PJ, that's what I can say right there. And they usually have a lot of success. They have to overcome the idea that they will always be working. It's a work card. And let's get you a card from Talking to Heaven, because I love these cards from James. Talking to Heaven. These are wonderful cards. Hold on a second. Let's get a card for your parents. Let me just shuffle them up. Okay. Here we go. And this is, we are so connected. So don't worry, your parents are there. They're connecting to you, and they're always around. Our loved ones are around if we need them. Sometimes they just want to be around. But if we, are thinking about them, it's because they're thinking about us. And that's how that works, actually. So this is for Tanya Brandenburg, and her birthday is June 20th. And thanks everybody again for writing all these questions. All your questions are so phenomenal, and I wish I could answer every one of them. I try to do the best I can. And your birthday is June 20th, so that makes you a 10 of clubs. So 10 of clubs is somebody who has a brain that has a brain, is how I say it. They're the ones that can outthink it. They think a lot. They're always thinking things, and they're wildly creative. Some of the most creative people I have are 10 of clubs. And here's her question. She says, when we die, do we get to see our guardian angels? And are they with us forever? Thank you so much. You're wonderful. Oh, thanks, honey. Yes, you'll get to see your spirit guides, because what will happen, and it's really kind of fascinating, some people are greeted with their guides. Some people are greeted with a loved one. But you will absolutely meet with your guides. And some people call them guardian angels. I call them spirit guides. And you'll definitely meet with them. And you'll have a life review. And what could we have done better? How did this work for you? How do you feel about this? How do you think you did? Those kind of conversations. They're deep conversations, actually. So very good question. And of course, you'll see them. You'll see everybody. It's quite a welcoming, and that you get to be with your loved ones, and soul groups come in together. So some soul groups have similar guides or the same guides. It's kind of interesting. So you might have often people have their own unique guides, but sometimes in a family, I have seen guides of a family too. So they can come in too, especially when there's been all kinds of, what family hasn't had that shenanigans? I'll just use the shenanigans line for families. Okay. Betty Lucas, love your show and the one with JVP too. Thank you. For 2 years. Thanks, honey. A day ago, a hawk hit our glass door and then sat there until we came near and then flew off. Sister was upset. I bet. So, okay. Let's talk about that. A hawk is the male psyche, or the male psychic, and they're very powerful. And I've heard these stories of hawks right now. I think they're honestly trying to get our attention. I mean, well, clearly was. I've heard so many stories of hawks that are more brazen than ever. I think spiritually, I don't believe at all that it's a bad thing. I could imagine that it would be shocking, when that has happened, when a hawk hits your glass door and sat there but then flew off, was trying to get your attention. Now, what was the attention? could be a loved one. It could be, my sense of it is to get more spiritual and not having any fear. Don't have fear, get more spiritual. And 1221 is a 10 of hearts, and 10 of hearts is all about learning about you. So maybe start learning about deep spirituality. And I'm sorry your sister was upset. July 17th, Jack of Clubs. And Jack of Clubs also is in their brain a lot as well. You guys, I can understand that you both would be shook by this. I mean, anybody would be shook by this. I had a situation where I had so many birds constantly barreling into my glass walls, actually. And it was a real thing. But what it did for me is it really woke me up spiritually. So, okay, I hope that helps here. So let us see. Okay. Let's see. What was I going to say? Here we go. Dee Dee. Then I came home to 2 beautiful male and female cardinals, which I love. And they're my sign that everything is unfolding just as it should. I love Dee Dee this because, number one, I love cardinals. And we have a pair here as well. And I love them. I mean, I'm obsessed, I'm obsessed with birds. And I have a bird problem. So, but I love that you understand that they're your sign for everything is unfolding just as it should be, because everybody has the ability to unearth their own signs from the universe and what it means to them. So thank you for sharing that. I so appreciate that. Wanda Santabri. Good evening, Kellee. Just enjoyed one of your old episodes with Marie Mancheri. Thanks for all you do. Oh, Marie Mancheri is a wonderful she's a medium who has a show on also, and she's a healer, and she's extraordinary, and I loved being on her show. You never know. I get a lot of people actually will watch those old shows and they'll come to me because I never know how that's going to be. And speaking of that, I had a very interesting experience yesterday. Actually, I was doing a reading for somebody new. So my practice is maybe 50% are returning people and 50% are new people. So I never know who I'm going to get. So when somebody comes in for a reading, I just to keep, keep them, in a calm state, because everybody tends to be a little anxious with that. I'll say, where are you located? Oh, I'm over here. And I had this woman, she said, I'm in Florida. Oh, okay. And then I said, and how did you find me? Because this is a normal question that I would ask. Now, typically the answer is on my show or James's show, or I did an Oprah article, or, Jen Weigel, or something comes up, or a referral. But that wasn't the case this time. She said, it was a funny thing. I was on Facebook and I was scrolling on Facebook, and she said, I found an old friend of mine from over 40 years ago, and I just looked her up, and you'd happen to be, she had something of you on her page. I said, oh, okay, so that's how that happened. Anyway, I wasn't thinking about anything after that period, actually. And anyway, I had the reading with her. It was really, really good. Had the reading. And then right when we got to the end of the reading, I said, all of a sudden I heard this name I had to say. And this is not the real name because I don't want to get into that. But what I said was, I said, was that Gertrude? What is Gertrude? The name Gertrude. And she said, well, I'm stunned. She said, that's the person when I was scrolling, my old friend of 40 years, that was her mother. And I haven't seen my old friend since we were 8 years old. 8 years old. And she said, but I always loved her mother. And, oh, okay. And then I thought that was it. And then she said, and my friend Ruby, blah, 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 my old friend when I was 8. I said, what? How could that possibly be? I said, you got to be kidding. I said, wait a minute. Is this so-and-so and so-and-so? Because I was actually with Gertrude when she passed away several years ago. I mean, that's the intelligence of spirit, how that works. She was as shocked as I was, and I couldn't have been more shocked. And the woman who I had been there when she passed away somehow was able to put some sort of energy, if you will, or shine a light on having a session with me. And then she came through. So you never know how spirit's going to work. And James and I were talking about that yesterday. And we were talking about just the intelligence of the spirit world, how that works. So I would say remain open to everything, because the most amazing things happen when you truly least expect it. And that was the last thing that I would have ever imagined. And in fact, when she died, this woman, Gertrude, died, my mother died a month later. And then our other dear friend's mother died. So we were like in the Mothers Club for the three of us for about 3 months. It was pretty radical. So I just was so happy to hear from her in such an odd way. Anyway, and this question is from Nadine Van Voren. She says, Kellee, thank you for your work. You're welcome, honey. Can I have now this is interesting. Can I have a mini reading? Her birthday is July 13th. That makes you a 2 of diamonds, honey. She said, I sometimes feel exhausted after the start of a year. Is that normal? Because the anniversary of the death of my partner and my mom were at the beginning of the year. And a former colleague also died, and family members so far of 2024. Yes. So when you've had that kind of, wound, trauma wound or wound, it would energetically, you would remember that, and the thing is, Nadine, you are a 2 of diamonds. 2 of diamonds comes for partnership. Partners are very important. And so to lose a mother, to lose your partner at the beginning of the year when the energy is set to begin and you got hit with too much at the beginning. And so have some really good talks with yourself about how it's okay to let go of that and start, or just know that the beginning of the year may be a little slow for you and then it'll pick up, but good question. Thank you for that question. So here's a question from Carolyn East. Hi, Carolyn. I know you're going through a really rough time right now because you lost your beloved dog who was only 3 years old, and that's a huge shock. So I am sorry, really, love to you and Rick. I'm sorry to hear that. And her question is that her grandparents died long before she was born, and so she knew nothing about them. And she said, the only surviving grandparent I had was I was 3.5. But she said, I was very close and I have very vivid memories of her. Is there any way I would know how to recognize one of my deceased unknown grandparents if they came through in a reading? She said, first of all, the answer is absolutely. I've longed my entire life to know their life stories. My parents couldn't tell me. And she goes into this. But can my family on the other side find me? Of course. Or will you ever know them? Of course. You're not lost to them. It's not possible. It's part of your soul group. And if you do a reading, they can absolutely come through. Maybe they haven't come through yet, but they certainly could, and especially if you're thinking about them. Absolutely. I mean, James just recently was in Santa Barbara, and he tells the story the other day of he went to a spirituals church, and out of the blue, a woman did a reading. And she described this man, name and who he was and how he was, whatever. And James raised his hand and said, that's my grandfather. And he had been gone for a long, long time. So absolutely, that's possible. Absolutely. Susan Hogan. Hi, Kellee. Does my mother or guides have any special message for you? Well, let's see. Let's do a mother guide, since I was talking about Cancer right now, the moon in Cancer. Let's do that, Susan. Here we go. It is beautiful where I am. So don't worry about a darn thing, okay? Our loved ones do not want us to worry. Do not worry about anything, okay? Don't worry about a thing here. Hi, Renee. Happy, beautiful blessings. And Renee, I have to laugh because the other day you were with us when we did readings with James. James and I did readings last Friday. And I said, there's a wolf. You have a wolf totem or something like wolf. There was a wolf, and you just had gotten a wolf tattoo. So I thought that was fun. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for that one. That was fun. Okay, so this is a good question. This is from Barbara. She says, my sister Nancy passed away in 1979, and she said it's the 45th anniversary of her death. She was 29 and I was 19, and I still miss her. Of course you would. And she said that popped into my head when I heard the date and time, and she gives this date and time 4/6. And the thing is, our loved ones, I don't care that it's the 45th anniversary, honey. She is definitely around you, And I don't know why, but she's saying, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Okay, so don't be afraid. She's definitely around. And she'll be sending you all kinds of messages. Even 45 years, it sounds so long for us. But they're always there waiting for us, okay? I really don't. that they all of a sudden go off and go into another life. Not if it's something so important. I don't believe that. I just do not. Yolanda Pauliski. Kellee, does my mom have any messages for me? Well, it's Mom Day, so let's see. I don't know what this means, but I'm going to say it. It's not your fault. So I'm not sure what she means by that. That maybe she had to go, or don't worry about her, or something along those lines here. Okay. So I'm not sure exactly what that would mean. But Kathy Brun. Hi, Kellee. This is my first exposure to you. You were highly recommended. Oh, thanks, Kathy. I'm glad that you're here to join us tonight. How about a message from the guides? These are James's cards. Let's get a message from the guides. Here we go, because that's always fun. And welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Okay, here we go. I don't know what this is either. Everybody's on a roll today. Forgive yourself. So often what this means is have compassion for everything that you've been through in life. Okay, because that's important. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Vicky. How are you? Oh, Vicky, this is from your beloved Mike. He said after he passed, he said he just wants you to know I was met by so many loving people. He was met definitely with his father, honey. Definitely. And that was a big deal for him. I have a mother here too. Oh, and he's met with your mother too, sweetheart. Definitely met with your mother. Very loving. Very loving. So there you go, honey. And hi, Lori LeClaire. How are you, honey? Lori has a new book coming out on Saturday, and I'm so excited. When her book comes out, it's about I think it's Sacred Journeys, and it's about she's a widow and how the lessons she's learned. And it's going to be a very powerful book, because I know Lori's very powerful. I can't wait to read it, and I can't wait to recommend it. And that comes out on Saturday. Very powerful day for that to come out, Lori. So I'm really happy you are. Hi, Lori Counts. I'm really happy about that. Okay, so this is a good question too. Okay, this is from Coaching and Cookies. Hi, Kellee. I loved all the learning opportunities that you and James provide. Thanks, honey. The number theme last Monday was enlightening. That was pretty fun, actually. She said, you've mentioned several times that when we cross over, there are several spirits on the other side who greet us. Yes, there are several spirits that will greet us. And she said, for some reason, initially I was thinking that they would be the spirits who have crossed over before us. That's correct. So if they've crossed over before us, they will meet us there. She said, I was wondering or presuming that there were still spirits on earth. No, the spirits once they pass, they'll join us. But if they're alive on earth, they will not be joining us on the other side for a meet and greet. I hope that answers. It would be the people that are already there. So Noel Collins. Hi, Noel. Noel says, I'm here to complete things. Oh, no. He says, thank you for your amazing work. I'm struggling with thoughts of retirement, and I would love to receive guidance to know what I can or when I can pursue it. And so your birthday is 12/24, and you put your date 1960. So I think that makes you 63. You'll be 64. Now, Noel, funny thing, right after that, I also received this one from Rudy Salzer. And Rudy says, Kellee, I appreciate all you do. I really would like to retire this spring, and I'm scared to do it. Can you shine some light on this for me? And your birthday is March 5th. So I'm going to combine this, because for Noel and for Rudy, I cannot tell you, I hear this probably every single day. Now, it could be my generation, because I'm a little older than you, and our generation is, thinking about retiring. And some people, it's very fair. It's scary. They don't know what to do. They don't know if they have the money to do it. But it is something that is in everybody's head if you are 65 or 60, or even late 50s. And you start thinking about it. And it's because time is limited. And what do we want to do? So here's the thing, Noel. I'll start with you. And your birthday is 12/24, so Christmas Eve. And you're a 7 of hearts with a 9 of spades. So that's a rising sign. So I'm giving you 2 different numbers right now. 7 of hearts is here. Often I find them as psychologists or lawyers or business people. They have a real connection with emotions and understanding them and helping people. And you're also with that a 9 of spades. 9 of spades comes to complete something. So you are here to complete something on earth. So if you're struggling with thoughts of retirement, maybe it's time. And this is for everybody that's thinking, what will my next step look like? Often it has to do with giving back, which is some form of, in a spiritual way, because wisdom is set in at that point, and well, we hope it has, and some people not, but it's giving back to the community, giving back in a spiritual way, helping others. Things just start to go in that direction, and no, I think that you will. There's a whole thing that goes on this year. I think the world is going to be pretty chaotic. We've got, again, I talk about these planets that are this conjunction that we have coming up. And we have these 2 eclipses coming up in April and then one in October that are big. And I think that brings so much change, but it also brings great healing. And so I bet you that you would be getting set to retire. And it has to be something where when you retire, that you do something, again, to help, because of that 7 of hearts and 9 of spades means that you're an old soul. You're an old soul. So old souls, when they almost never retire, in that sense that they don't give up learning. They keep going. So I bet you're getting very close. And I hope that helps with you. Okay. And Rudy, you're a 5 of spades. Your birthday is March 5th. And 5 of spades is all about healing. It's all about change. 5 of spades is one of the go-getters of all go-getters. They can go and change. And I would not be surprised if you are change the excitement. I'm sorry, change the scared to excitement. Okay, 5 of spades is all about healing. And your birthday is right before this big conjunction, but it's still in the middle of a lot of change that's going to occur. And my producer Renee and I were just talking about this. I mean, literally get in the swing of it going forward, as opposed to having fear and letting it hold you back. Okay. Again, maybe find a group of people that are also thinking about retiring. That might help. But there's going to be a lot of it. I talk about this every single day with a client at least. So thank you for that, you guys. I love that you guys had that together. Okay. Anne Bedore McAvee. Her birthday is 12/8. So if you were born on December 8th, you are a 10 of clubs. So you were definitely in your head a lot. Has a brain that has a brain, but very creative. She said, my husband died 2 months ago. I'm sorry, honey. And I sold his Mustang yesterday to a friend. Okay. I went into his room to take a picture of the magazine cover that I had made for my husband a few years ago, with both him and his car on the cover. There was a bunch of white rays with a small head in the first picture, and in the second picture was just fine. Was that small head in the white rays my husband? Yes. Yes and yes. And I have to laugh, and I'm laughing because I have done hundreds of readings where men and their cars, oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Yes. And I really get that it's okay that you sold the car, but he had to have some fun with that one. Oh, I've got chills everywhere. He definitely was, that was him. And I would say, look for that a lot, because I think it's important that you look for signs for him, because you definitely be seeing a lot of these, a lot of things from him, because you just will. That does crack me up. My father was a car fanatic, and when he died, he had acquired 127 cars in his life. That was a big thing. So when cars they come up, I'm always like, okay, Dad, I got you with the car. So Deb Fauto asked me, she said, what is the correct way to sage a home? So here's the thing, Deb, I don't have a clue. I made a note for that question, that I think that it'd be fun for James and I to have somebody who does sage. Saging a room is to clear a room or to clean a room. I've actually gotten sick with it because I walked in and clearly didn't do it right. And I've been with people who've done it not the right way. So I don't have the answer, but It does. I'm going to find somebody that does know it. Okay. Because I think that's important. So Barbara Sue Weprin, so you said my birthday is 8/24. Okay. What card is that and what does it mean? I will tell you. Barbara, you're a two of clubs. Two of clubs loves to communicate and to connect with friends. They also have to overcome fear on some level. Fear, and they're funny fears. They might be like fear of flying or fear of swimming or fear of whatever. And when they overcome that, spirituality is the way to go. They get extremely spiritual and have a lot of fun with it. So I happen to love two of clubs. I really do. I think they're wonderful. Okay, Julie Munsterman. She said, Kellee, I absolutely loved your exercise video. Oh, that was hilarious. By the way, I will have more exercise videos once it stops snowing and icing and fogging so I can go to my trainer in person. I've been doing Zoom with my trainer. Shout out, Cindy, to you. And so I can't get there in person, but I will make some more of those. Yes, the shoveling ones were hilarious, but honestly, I was just pretending to shovel. It was a real Hollywood moment, but it was in front of my house, and I was dressed up. But I did feed the birds because I love to do that. So you want a reading for your husband, and his birthday is March 12th. So, and you wanted to know about he was very close with his mother because he wanted a message from his mother too. So I'm going to do both for you, but I want to say something interesting. So your husband is a Jack of Diamonds and his birthday is March 12th. So that's a Jack of Diamonds. Jack of Diamonds is very hardworking. Anytime I say Jack of Diamonds, almost all the Jacks are very, very hardworking. Jack of Diamonds particularly, they have an interesting energy. They can create a lot. They can have a lot of fun. They can be a little moody sometimes. It's a funny thing. But what makes your husband fascinating to me is that his second card is the Queen of Hearts. And anytime I see a man who has a Queen of Hearts in his chart, it always is connected to the mother. And so just know his mother is definitely around him. I mean, as soon as I saw that, I started to laugh when you said that he wanted a message from his beloved mother. Yeah, he would. He would. She says, I will always point you in the right direction, honey. Actually, I just heard son. Just make sure he knows that, okay? Just know that. She's never going to, our loved ones don't leave us. Hi, Lori Young. How you doing, honey? And a shout out to, if anybody needs a wonderful therapist, Elizabeth Scott is in New York. She also does past life sessions. So I just found that out. I didn't realize that. She does past life sessions, and her name is Elizabeth Scott. And you can find her on psychology.com or psychologytoday.com, I should say. And Elizabeth Scott is a wonderful therapist. She's spiritual. She's in the East Coast in New York, but she also does spiritual counseling and does past life regression. So I'm always wondering about people that do that. Okay, let's talk about this. Thank you, Renee. We have some spots left for our Design Your Life Vision Board Workshop. This is going to be so much fun. Please join us. It's on Zoom on February 10th. February 10th, we chose that day because it's very auspicious. That day is the year of the wood dragon. And it's very, very exciting for us to do this class this day. And I'm teaching it with Julianne Siegel. And Julianne Siegel specializes in feng shui. And I have to tell you, when doing a vision board on that day, creating, because the energies, all the planets are direct. Remember me saying that? This is really the time. Get your things together. And in fact, Julianne's going to be on my show for a few minutes in a couple of weeks. And to tell anybody that's signed up for this, or if they're going to sign up for what kind of things that you'll need, like glue and the different pictures. And one thing she says about a vision board, so if you're thinking about doing a vision board, she told me this the other day and it was so right on, put a picture of you in the center of it. Because often we'll put things that we want to manifest, but we forget about us. And so putting us in it. But this is, because it's this year of the dragon, this is, and it's the wood dragon, and wood element actually means formulating and implementing ideas. So this is such an excellent, excellent time to do a vision board class and start manifesting for 2024 and beyond, as they say. So please join us. You can sign up on my website, or Renee will put this in here too. And I think you guys will love it. Design your life with vision boards. It's going to be a lot of fun. So please join Julianne Siegel and me. Okay, everybody. And thanks, Charlene. You love the blue? Thank you. I love this too. I'm still trying to pretend it's like summer, and it's not. But these are my favorite colors. I love this. March Webb, it rained all day. Yeah, I know it's raining in a lot of places. And for us, it's intense with the fog. C asked me, can I see auras over the phone or YouTube? I'd rather do it in person. Every once in a while when I'm doing a Zoom session, every once in a while I can definitely see an aura. I can. It's an interesting thing, but not over the phone. I mean, I know some people get feelings of colors. I could certainly get feelings of colors. Yeah, I guess, but I like to be, spot on when I do that. I think it's really good. Okay, Barbara Miller Bianconi. She says, now this is a great question. How do I live with balance, living in this world with the intensity and spirit that is everywhere since his death in June? Wow. So your husband died in June of 2023. So he's been gone for 6-7 months. And I will say this, Barbara, I have a lot of widows. I mean, I work with a lot of widows. And I've never heard one say that. I know that it's intense and they're sad, but I've never had one that said that the spirit's all around is everywhere. That's an interesting dilemma. Some would really, really want that. So how do you live in balance? Well, I think that if your husband is there, I think he's trying to get your attention about that he is there. The soul doesn't die, and probably trying to get you into a real spiritual place. And I would say, okay, Tom, how are you doing? Okay. And then I would just talk to him and just go about your business. And, I'm sure he's probably so excited to be there. And you're a 6 of clubs. So 6 of clubs is all about, it has a lot to do with spirituality. Also has a lot to do with speaking your truth and being able to forgive and move on. The 6 of clubs is all about that too. So I don't know if something happened with that one, but it's an interesting question. I'm going to be pondering that one. Okay. Karen Sanders. Hello, Kelly. Can I see when this world will get any better? Probably not in my lifetime, honey. Probably not. I think we're going in all kinds of directions. And I think a lot of pain and suffering individually has to be healed. And when individuals start to heal their pain and suffering and traumas, which is what I'm all about, what most therapists and mediums would like to see happen, and spiritualists would like to see happen here, then the world will start to change. It will eventually change. Again, probably not in my lifetime, but it will happen. Okay, and your birthday is 5/9, which is a 10 of diamonds. And so you wanted to know what your main purpose is. For a 10 of diamonds, we call them the blessed card, but ultimately it's about true spirituality. Okay, so, and Mary Davis, she said, I just started listening to your shows. Thank you. And your birthday is 12/17. So December 17 is an Ace of Clubs. Ace of Clubs loves to learn. They love to learn this, and then they'll try this, and they'll try this, and then they'll go over here and try this. Keep trying, Mary. It's the greatest. I love Ace of Clubs because they're never boring. They're always fascinating to me. Okay, this is a great question. Laura Crum. She says, Kelly, you're so comforting and knowledgeable. Well, thank you, honey. My daughter's birthday is 11/3, November 3rd, 1999. So November 3rd, which makes her a 4 of diamonds. And I'll talk about that in a minute. She's going to be starting her State Trooper Academy training on Monday. Wow. It will be severely challenging mentally, as well as physically, as well as 6 months long living in the barracks. Any thoughts for her? I so appreciate all your help. Absolutely, Laura. I'm going to tell you what. She's a 4 of diamonds. 11/3 is a 4 of diamonds. This one was born to this. We call them Ford trucks. This one can go and learn. They have to learn. And this is what she's wanted to experience. And so as a mother, we will watch our children make all kinds of choices. May not have been my choice, might have not have been your choice. However, you have to see it from their point of view of everything they're going to learn. They're going to learn a lot here. And when they're young, we never stop learning, but it's really important that she makes her own choices. A Four of Diamonds loves freedom. So she probably has another plan, backup plan, which is, she'll do this for a period of time and she'll be able to have a lot of freedom with this job or with this career. So they're always thinking, okay, I think it's a good thing for her, Laura. I think she's going to do really well with it. Okay. So hope that helps. Tippy Landis, she says, Tippy, I was howling over this question. I do not know this, but this is very funny. She says, Kellee, I don't know if you've seen this Prison Brides. I guess that's a TV show. No, I have not. But I find it very interesting to see how you could meet someone in prison and then marry them. Do I think they're starseeds? Or is this a psychological condition? I'd go with psychological condition. I just can't imagine doing something like that. Okay, so what are your thoughts? Okay, Tippy, your thoughts were my thoughts. I was like, what? Like, whenever I have heard of this, and I actually know cases like this, I am not kidding you. So here's the thing. There's a thing called hyperarousal, and I forget the name of the condition. It's actually a hyperarousal condition for women that are attracted to men in prison. Yikes. You think you've heard it all and you haven't. But really, to me, this all goes to some sort of trauma bonding. It all goes to me to that, to trauma bonding. They're bonding with somebody. There is so much self-worth, I would have to say, on the person. You'd have to dig into it, but yes, psychological condition. There is a psychological condition about it. There is actually. And I think it has everything to do with trauma, So there you go. I hope that helps. Okay, Christy Z. Hi, Christy. And you are September 17th, which is a 7 of clubs. 7 of clubs is very spiritual, has to overcome any negativity. Hi, Kellee. I'm a student of James Van Prague. That's fabulous. And he referred me to you 3 years ago because both of my parents passed 3 months apart. Oh my gosh. She said, I want to thank you for 2 amazing readings. Oh, you're so welcome, honey. She said, I got through a lot of information. And then she said, my question is, I saw a pink spirit form and I'm not quite sure what that is. And somebody mentioned that it maybe is a spirit guide. I would say, honey, if you saw a pink spirit form, not from around here, as they say, I would say it was your parents. I would absolutely say they came together to let you know that. Spirit guides, do they come out in pink? Not necessarily. I would say it was your loved ones. Absolutely. Definitely. So I hope that helps some. Okay, Gina Giuliano, sending lots of love. Unfortunately, I cannot watch your show because I work the second shift. And your birthday is 11/2, November 2nd, which is a 5 of Diamonds. 5 of Diamonds is about helping about self-worth and really getting to know thyself. So I hope that helps. Chrissy says, I know nothing about astrology. It's so difficult to understand. What would be a good book to explain it all to me? And your birthday is 10/21. 10/21 is an Ace of Clubs. Ace of Clubs loves to learn astrology. Oh my gosh. And I have a book, but I don't have it on me. I must have left it in the other room, darn it. I'll post it. I have a Vedic astrology book that's simple to understand. So I hope that helps. And I'll try to put that out, Chrissy, when I'm done. Okay. I just can't remember the name of it. And I can't remember the author of it right now, but it's really easy. And Chrissy, just know this, astrology takes time. It is difficult to understand. I've probably been learning it since I was 20 years old and probably even before then, but really I was always fascinated by it. And my friend Charlene will tell you, she's been studying it hard for years and years. At least 30 years. And so anyway, I have a book that I think for Vedic astrology. Now there's plenty for Western. You might want to start with Western astrology. There's plenty that will help you with that. Just Google, They used to call them book for dummies. I don't know what they call them now, but simple books on astrology. That would help you too, Chrissy. That's a great place to start. So hi, Rita Vors. I was thinking about you today, Rita. Wolf Moon is your totem. Wolf is your totem. How great is that? Isn't that great? Donna Jalimi, you haven't left home for 2 weeks? I hear you. Me too. I get it. I get it. So, okay, let's see here. Let's see. Okay. Kathy Brunn says, I was highly recommended. I'm excited to listen. Great. I have a question about travel in April. Looking forward to doing a cruise to Japan. It's funny. I worked with a client today from Japan, and I worked for Japan Airlines for many years, and I really love the Japanese culture and the Japanese very, very much. I have a deep, deep connection. I think that a cruise in April will be eye-opening because we have so many planets, so many big changes happening in April. I think going on a cruise would be spectacular. Do you go? I think that would be spectacular. So I think, Linda Reynolds, where did I see that wolf? I saw that wolf in a just on a snowy bank out there. We have so many, they're all farms and now they're covered with snow. So I saw it I got a big vacant snow, some land. It was very wild. Yeah, that was really something. Okay. So here we go. Let's see. Kim Ann says, Kelly, that wolf was a totem for sure, right? From the towns that I mentioned, I know you must be I am in the southern Wisconsin. And I looked at the wolf tracking page. They only show wolves in the north half of Wisconsin and mostly northern. Wow. I'll be darned. Well, then that was a special thing. How fascinating. Thanks for letting me know that, Kim, because I don't know anything about that. I was as stunned as anybody. Wow. Thank you for that. Okay. Oh, Dolly Lanier, had to put my cat Jax down today. Cancer of the mouth. He was 22 years and he was a feral stray. Wow, that is amazing. Wow, wow, wow. Ms. Jules, I'm experiencing both of those situations. I'm my mother's caregiver and her health is declining. I would like to live closer to my daughter and grandkids. Oh, Ms. Jules, I can relate to this one very well. This is a tough one, isn't it? And your birthday is September 16th, 61. You're what you're like really kind of pushed in with all of this. That's a lot. And September 16th, which is one of my favorite days, actually, is an 8 of clubs. 8 of clubs they're the psychic ones, especially around the 16th. The 16th is a very psychic day, very intuitive. They're the caregivers. They're the ones that think eyes in the back of their heads. Try to stay in the moment if you can. Just try to stay in the moment and just take one moment at a time. I was in a situation similar, and that's how I did it. So just stay, if you can, one moment at a time. Okay? I think that would be very good. Okay, Julie Amanda, what spiritual modality should I focus on? And your birthday is December 4th. December 4th is an Ace of Diamonds. Ace of Diamonds is, we always say it for love or for money. But spirituality is their big gift. Ace of Diamonds. So maybe start with the simple things. Maybe go to James Van Prague's website and look at his website because he's got lots of classes, and maybe there'll be a class that jumps out at you that you would be amazing for you. I think that would be a really good idea for you. Okay, Sheila Nutt. She says, I watched my mother die, and just before she took her last breath, she straightened up and she looked scared. And I thought it was a beautiful passing because she didn't suffer. She said, we were not close in our relationship, but I wondered if she is at peace now. Yes. And you're from Coventry, England. Thank you so much. And your birthday is November 18. So November 18 is a 2 of clubs. 2 of clubs. It must have been, and it's funny that you used, she looks scared. 2 of clubs often will project scared also, because 2 of clubs comes to overcome fear. Sometimes when somebody is passing, they might have that look because they don't know what to do or what to think, and then it happens so quickly. But your mother is at complete peace, okay? Please know that she's at complete peace. And I'm going to take this one. This is from Carlene Reese. She said, "Hi, Kellee. I hope you're well. I had a dog show up at my house Friday night. At 9 p.m., my doorbell alerted that there was a motion at the door, and it was 24 degrees. So I couldn't leave her out there. We set up our spare kennel and let her stay the night. Long story short, she's still here. She was chipped, but the owners won't respond to the rescue. Oh my God. And they took her back. And so we took her back in our care. Wow. We are fostering her, but we also have another dog. So if it works out, we're going to adopt her. Good for you. Could you please recommend a good animal communicator?" I certainly can. Thank you. And she says, "It was exactly a week to the day of our anniversary of our other dog that passed." Okay. I would check out Tammy, Tami Hendrix, Hendrix. Tammy Hendrix has a show called Soul Speak, and it's every other Wednesday. And I don't know if it was this last Wednesday or the Wednesday coming up, but go to Soul Speak. And then she has a website, TamiHendrix.com, and she works really great. She will tell you all about the animal, what's going on. And I think it should be a terrific one for you. I do. I think it would be a good one. Okay, Jan Randazzo. And so Jan says, "I've never had a reading, but I would love one. And my birthday is December 20th. So December 20th is a Jack of Hearts. And Jack of Hearts is about sacrifice for love and sacrifice. So in life, there would be, you would have given up a lot probably to sacrifice for love, whether it's for family, for a love relationship, often it has to do with family. And I find that they're some of the deepest, most spiritual people around. So I think that's important. Okay, Tracy Anthony. Tracy Anthony's birthday is 11/1, which makes you a 6 of diamonds, which I'll talk about in a minute. Her question is, "My 30-year-old daughter has been dealing with breast cancer. Is she going to be okay?" So here's the thing. Our children, these souls, choose something before they incarnate to help them wake up spiritually. And so they'll put themselves through all kinds of, opportunities for learning, for growth. And cancer is one of those. I get the sense very strongly that she's going to be fine, that she's learning, she's going to help people through this journey, through her accomplishment of this journey, and helping others through this as well. And you also have a niece that is going through, was just diagnosed with stage 3 lymphoma. That's a lot of cancer in your family. I mean, that's a lot right there. 6 of diamonds is all about responsibility. So I know that you'll have a responsibility to help them. So your goal should be to help them through a lot of love and support and positivity. Okay. I do believe they both make it through. Okay. And they'll have a big story to tell. It's often a huge story to tell with that, right? So just know that. Janice Friedman, she said, "My dad passed December 10th and his birthday was July 22nd. A bluebird pecked at the window until I went over and looked at it. It didn't fly in." Yeah, that was your dad, honey. That was definitely a dad. I have to laugh at that because it's just so funny to me. I mean, birds, I'm telling you, our loved ones will try to get our attention. And this is for Ann Gabb. She says, "I love your shows." And she wanted to know, she said she wanted a session with Carrie Gonia. Carrie Gonia does family constellation therapy. She's my dear friend and she's great. And I would definitely, do anything to get an appointment with her because I think she's great. But what you're saying is you looked at her old website, and it looked kind of old. And just know this, I actually read your question. I sent her a text and she wrote me back right away. And she said, yes, that website is absolutely functioning. So please know that. Okay. That is absolutely functioning. So, okay. Let's see. Okay, Kathy Zuniak. "I dreamt of my husband and we were with 2 babies, which was a boy and a girl. Then I realized they were the babies I had lost after we had gotten married. I said, 'We made pretty babies.' And he said, 'Yes, we did.' And I said, 'Well, you are with them.' And he said, 'Of course I am.'" Oh, I have chills everywhere, Kathy. Oh, you better believe it. You better believe he is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing that, honey. Yes, everybody, tonight is the big full moon. Meditate, take a special bath, put your crystals out, talk to your loved ones, take care of yourself. This is a big full moon, okay? And everybody, on Monday night, James and I on Both Sides Now and Beyond, we're going to be having this amazing spiritual artist on. He did a picture for me. It's quite wonderful. And I'm so excited to meet him. So he's going to be with us on Monday, and then I'll be back next Thursday. And join me for our vision board class too, if you get a chance, on February 10th. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.